With these vibrato exercises, you're going to be working on rhythmic awareness. We're going to be doing most of the exercises without the bow so that we can concentrate on the speed of our hand motion and the rotation of our forearm, whichever videos you're using as a violin viola or a cello bass player. Commit to using these exercises every day for a week, and you're going to be ready to be adding the bow and vibratoing in our music in no time. So what you're going to do now is you're going to put the thumb on the back of the neck, and you're going to make sure that it is perpendicular to the neck. If the neck is going straight up and down, your thumb is going to be parallel to the floor, so it can be perpendicular to the neck. Okay, you want that thumb placed behind that second finger. So again, when you're pivoting back and forth around that second finger, it's really from one corner of the fingernail to the other, and your thumb is acting as the fulcrum, like a teeter-totter a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be really important. We don't want that thumb back up here. We don't want that wrist tucked down. That elbow is going to have to stay up. So we want to just make sure we have that basic position. So the first thing I want you to do is just experiment with making that rolling motion, again, making sure the whole forearm is moving. If it doesn't, you'll see it right away. If you practice in front of a mirror, this is a great idea. Okay, another thing you can do is just go up like you're shifting really fast, and then put the finger down and then it wiggles. Shift really fast, finger down, wiggle, shift really fast. Try different fingers each time. It's gonna change the balance of your hand, like now we're going to move into an exercise using the rhythms on the board. So how this is going to work is you're going to just start on an open D string, and you're going to pluck 4 Ds in a steady rhythm, and your hand is going to be ready to go. And then during the rests, you're going to make this pivoting motion. So it's almost like you're rotating your hand towards the bridge to touch the 4th finger to the string. We're not actually going to have any strings pressed down right now on the D string. So we're going to start on the top line. We'll do that about 3 times, and then we're going to change to 8th notes. Now the reason I wrote 8th rests instead of quarter notes again is because every rest you're going to make that vibrato motion. Okay. Here we are plucking plain old D string. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pivot, 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 pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, pivot, 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 pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to do the same exercise with first finger. I want you to think of having your cello fingers relaxed and over the fingerboard as you do this, not tucked under, because this just creates more tension. Make sure your elbow is elevated as if you were reaching out and bringing your hand to your shoulder again. Remember, the thumb is behind second finger, so it really looks like it's low from this point of view, okay? And you're pivoting from one corner of the fingernail to the other. So we're going to pizzicato 4 E's, pressing down with first finger. E, 2, 3, 4, pivot, 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 pizzicatos, 2, 3. Try to relax your thumb, pivot, 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 pivot. Last time, 2, 3, 4, pivot, pivot, pivot. Now 8th notes, 1 and 2, and relax your thumb, pivot, 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 pivot. 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4, wah, 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 wah. We want to practice every finger, so we're going to use F natural second finger now. Drop that thumb down again on the bottom of the neck. This time it's pretty much right behind second finger. Elbow stays elevated. This is one of the fingers I find to be the easiest. So get your finger pressed down to create an F natural. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah. Relax the hand. Move the whole forearm. Look at your forearm. Make sure it's moving. Let's go to eighth notes next. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and wah, 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 wah. 3 and 4 and 2, 3. Soften up that thumb. Wah, 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 wah. 3 and 4 and. Shake out that arm. I can really feel it in my shoulder up here. That is normal. Next, as cello players, we're going to do F sharp, your third finger. Basses, if you would like to, you can shift to a third finger on F sharp and just practice this, because eventually when you're way up above the octave point, you get to start using third finger and you will be vibrating on that at that point. So you might as well practice it here with us. Make sure your thumb is dropped down. This time you may need to even drop it slightly lower so it's right across from third finger to create that fulcrum or pivot point for you. Keep that elbow elevated. 3, 4. Your other fingers are in the air, trying to keep them relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to keep that finger curved. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah. Now eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and wah, 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 wah. 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4. Soften up that thumb and 3 and 4 and. Now for pinky finger, for both cello and bass, if you set up your pinky so it is nicely curved, your thumb is supporting maybe almost down by where third finger would be. Okay, extend your other fingers so they are straight across, softened, slightly curved. If they're really super rigid, this is not gonna work for you to have a beautiful vibrato. So try to soften them up there. 3, 4. Remember to soften the fingers. Wah, 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 wah. So when I'm just practicing this vibrato, I'm not pressing down quite as hard on my pinky during this pivot area. And we'll all find how weak our pinky really is. Eighth notes, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4. Relax those fingers and 3 and last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax them. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Shake it out. My pinky is a little tender. It doesn't feel very strong. That might be normal for you too. Now we're going to work on having the vibrato motion going while the bow just moves in one continuous bow stroke, all in the same direction. So we're going to do about a 4 count down bow with just making that vibrato motion. Slower and wider is better. If you get too narrow and pinched, it's what I call a sheep vibrato. And it's just not wide enough for the ears to find it a pleasing sound. So we want it wider and slower. That's a better beginning vibrato. So we're going to do just the motion, long bow, and then switch bow when you run out. try second finger. And then switch the bow. Now you might find that your finger is all of a sudden going faster and then slower and then faster and slower. That's very normal. Let's go to third finger. Switch to that up bow. Now fourth finger. Remember to try to relax the other fingers over. Now your finger is smaller, so it's not going to have as wide of an amplitude change as you're pivoting on that pinky. Okay, practice this and then you will be able to do the next step, which is getting rhythmic control.